for me.
Look out!
Is there a problem?
It's fine. This is just a little misunderstanding.
What are you doing? Arrest that man!
Please, calm yourself. Not all high flora are monsters.
You don't expect me to trust you so easily, do you? So you decide to show your true... Your wings. They're torn.
I may have been born a high flora, but I hate them just as much as any nova. I failed to get rid of my wings, but I think my scars drive home my point.
I can't say I'm ready to trust you, but I may have overreacted.
I'm used to it. I'm surprised the prince didn't warn you about me. His idea of a joke, perhaps.
Yes, just don't let appearances fool you. He's an incredibly useful individual.
I assume you're here about the Chosen One? What's your interest in our prophecies? You would form an alliance with the Divine? I've never heard anyone say such a thing about a god. You must be the adversary I've heard so much about. They say that you plan to fight Jaren Darmord, even if it means plunging all of Grandis into war. I see that your mind is made up. I shouldn't be surprised. You've already vanquished one transcendent after all. In that case, let us begin. You'll want to start with the ancient writings on the sword.
You do have those writings, don't you?
Of course. Unfortunately, they're in Section 3, and Section 3 is a little haunted at the moment.
Part of the library is haunted? And you didn't do anything about it?
Oh, I tried. Unfortunately, the ghosts didn't care for that. They possessed me. I had spirits leaking out of my nose for ages afterwards. Nobody wanted to come and borrow any books.
Yes, that sounds difficult. Prophecies. So some hermit had a strange dream hundreds of years ago, and we're supposed to make a plan of action from that?
Prophecies happen in their own time. You can't force them to happen.
If the Nova sat around waiting for prophecies to come true, we'd all have met our end a long time ago. But if this is what we have, I guess it can't be helped. These prophecies all hit the same major points, but the details are impossible to pin down. At least they all agree on one thing. The sword has always been wielded by a celestial.
The Celestials are demigods who joined the sun god Mitra when he descended from the heavens. But they lost their power when the Age of the Gods ended, and they've been trapped here ever since. So they settled in a place they called High Mountain and founded the Order.
I hear that High Mountain fell some time ago. What happened to the Celestials after that?
They spread out and went into hiding. Aside from Saren, they're rarely seen these days.
This is a lot to process. The Holy Sword did react to the adversary. Maybe we should start there after all. To be fair, you do have a history of killing godlike creatures.
I'm not sure that's it. I understand that the adversary carries the power of the Seal Stone, no? The Seal Stone is the same power that sealed the gods away in the first place.
What?
You weren't aware of the Seal Stone's nature? Well, very few are.
How do you know this?
I pieced it together from a handful of writings that survived from that time.
In other words, it's an educated guess.
It was an educated guess. I'd say the adversary confirmed my theory by touching the sword, though.
So the adversary possesses the same power that sealed away Mitra. If this got out, the partnership between the Alliance and Cernium would be over. Aaron, can you keep this revelation to yourself for now?
Of course. I won't tell a soul.
And we must be particularly cautious around Saren. If she catches even a whisper of this, we'll face far worse than exile.
Aaron, are you here?
Speak of the Celestial.
I'm here about my earlier request. I owe you an apology for earlier.
Oh, that? It's nothing. Nothing at all. They're similar, but not identical.
There must be other survivors from High Mountain. I'm certain one of them has the emblem. You must agree.
It's going to be difficult to find a specific person in this chaos, especially if they don't want to be found.
You are right, of course. But I must believe that the Chosen One will not stray far from the sword.
How optimistic of you.
That's faith.
And what you call faith, I call wishful thinking.
You are the prince's guest, but this is the Holy Land. Mind your tongue.
One more thing. I had a thought about you.
Go ahead.
You're celestial. You're dedicated to the faith, and nobody is closer to the sword than you are.
I see where you're going, but that's a dead end. I don't have the emblem.
You don't have the emblem yet. That doesn't necessarily mean you aren't the Chosen One.
I can't just decide to be the Chosen One. And even if I did, I would never be formally recognized by the Order.
What does that matter? Do they have a direct line to the gods that I don't know about? All that should really matter is whether or not you have Mitra's blessing.
You don't understand. I'm not worthy. I can't even spread my wings.
And?
All those years ago, when I brought the sword to Cernium, I was injured. You have wings yourself. How would you feel if you couldn't? It's late. I should be going.
A celestial who can't spread her wings.
What are you doing here? I know the person you're referring to. I've never actually met them. I just know I'm not the only one who comes here. Anyone visiting this memorial is no enemy of mine. My fellow soldiers. They were slain in battle defending the Holy Sword. I was the only survivor to reach the Holy Land. I am blessed to have completed my mission. I ensured their sacrifice was not in vain. Now I come here to remember and honor them. They gave their lives for Mitra. I should be proud of them. I hear that the Alliance doesn't follow any single order. How did you feel when your brothers and sisters at arms fell in battle? I understand. Tell Adia that she was right. It will be too hard to find another Celestial. We should think of another way forward. What's this feather?